There is nothing wrong with dreaming of a better life, but one must be wise in choosing the right path. Ambition must be guided by wisdom, or it may lead to a destiny one did not expect. Welcome to The Hidden Voice, a Sierra Leonean folktales channel. Long ago, in a quiet village near the Great Moa River, there lived a young woman named Bai Kamara. Sia was known for her beauty, grace, and kindness. She was beloved by all, but her heart longed for something greater, something beyond the simple life of her village. From the moment Bai Kamara stepped into adulthood, she became the object of admiration in her village. Men from near and far sought her hand in marriage, enchanted by her grace, intelligence, and striking beauty. Young men from wealthy families, strong hunters, and even traveling traders all tried to win her heart. They brought her gifts, beautiful fabrics, handcrafted jewelry, and baskets of the finest fruits. Some composed songs in her honor, while others asked the village elders to arrange a union. Yet Sia refused them all. Her rejection puzzled the villagers. How could a girl from a humble background turn down such great suitors, her possession by the Rivergod? What no one knew was that Sia was already claimed, not by an ordinary man, but by Bai Kamara, the powerful Rivergod. Since the day she first set foot in the river as a child, Bai Kamara had marked her as his own. He whispered to her in the wind, appeared in her dreams, and left visions of his shimmering palace deep in her mind. Whenever a man tried to court her, Sia felt an unseen force holding her back, a deep-rooted pull toward the river. Her heart, though longing for human companionship, could never fully belong to any mortal man. Some villagers suspected that she was cursed. One evening, a brave young hunter named Musa, determined to marry Sia, went to see a village elder. Why does Sia refuse all men? She smiles, she listens, yet she turns us away. Musa lamented. The elder, an old man with wisdom beyond his years, sighed. Some souls are not meant for this world alone. There are spirits that claim them, binding them beyond our understanding. It was then that rumors began to spread, that Sia was not just a woman, but a spirit's bride. Some men became fearful. Others tried to break the unseen bond, believing they could free her from whatever force held her. But every attempt ended in failure. Sia sitting by the river, staring into the water as the sun sets. One evening, as Sia fetched water from the river, she noticed a shimmering figure beneath the surface. As she leaned closer, a deep voice called her name. Sia, you are unlike any other. Why do you gaze into the water as if searching for something more? Startled, Sia stepped back, but curiosity overtook her fear. Slowly, a figure emerged, a man unlike any she had ever seen. His skin gleamed like polished ebony, his eyes sparkled like the river under the moonlight, and his presence exuded power. He was Bai Kamara, the river god. Though Sia had spent her life resisting the mysterious pull of the river, there was something undeniably enchanting about Bai Kamara, the river god. The first time she saw him, she had been afraid, a glowing figure rising from the depths, his voice smooth yet powerful, his presence unlike any mortal man. But as time passed, fear gave way to curiosity, then admiration, and finally, love. One evening, when the moon was full and silver light danced upon the rippling water, Sia stood by the river's edge. She had been feeling restless, torn between two worlds, the familiar warmth of her village and the haunting beauty of the unknown. The river grew still, as if the entire world was holding its breath. Slowly, Bai Kamara emerged. His skin gleamed like polished stone, his long robes flowed like the water itself, and his eyes held the depth of the river, ancient and endless. Sia's heart raced with excitement. Unlike the first time, she did not step back. Instead, she smiled, a genuine, radiant smile. "You came!" Bai Kamara's lips curled into a knowing smirk. "You called for me, did you not?" Sia blushed. She hadn't spoken a word, but somehow he had heard the longing in her heart. Being near him felt different. When he looked at her, she did not feel like just another village girl, She felt special, chosen, meant for something greater. When Bai Kamara spoke, his voice was like the rhythm of the waves, smooth and commanding. He told her stories of the world beneath the water, a palace of gold, waterfalls that sang, creatures unseen by mortal eyes. He reached for her hand, and when she let him take it, a warmth spread through her body, not just warmth, but power, a connection to something ancient and divine. Bai Kamara, the guardian of the river, had watched Sia since childhood. He admired her spirit, her longing for something beyond the ordinary. And so, he offered her a choice: leave the world of mortals and become his wife, or remain in the village and live an ordinary life. Sia, enchanted by his presence and the promise of a grander life, agreed to become Bai Kamara's wife. With one step into the river, she disappeared beneath the surface, leaving behind her village and the life she once knew. Sia, in a magnificent underwater palace, surrounded by glowing fish and waterfalls that flowed in midair. At first, life in the river was like a dream. Bai Kamara showered Sia with riches, golden bracelets, silk garments, and feasts fit for a queen. She was no longer an ordinary village girl. She was the queen of the river. But there was one rule. Sia could never return to the surface. She missed the laughter of her family, the warmth of the sun, and the simple joys of village life. Bai Kamara, though loving, was possessive. He reminded her that she had chosen this life. One day, overwhelmed by longing, Sia begged Bai Kamara to let her visit her family. "Just for a short time, my love." Sia expressed, "I need to see my mother, my father, my people." Reluctantly, Bai Kamara agreed under one condition. She must return before sunset and never reveal the secret of where she had been. Sia swore to obey, but fate had other plans. As Sia walked along the narrow forest path leading back to her village, she could not stop smiling. The night air was cool, the scent of fresh earth and river mist filled her senses, but none of it mattered. Her mind was lost in thoughts of Bai Kamara. She touched the golden bracelet on her wrist, a gift from the Rivergod, and her heart swelled with excitement. "This is just the beginning," she whispered to herself, imagining the life Bai Kamara had promised her. With every step she took, she saw flashes of the riches that awaited her. She pictured herself draped in shimmering silk instead of the rough village cloth she now wore. She imagined living in a palace beneath the water, where fish danced like birds and the walls gleamed with pearls. She saw herself adorned with gold, walking among spirits and gods, a queen in her own right. For the first time in her life, she felt truly powerful. In her village, she had been just another girl. But in Bai Kamara's world, she was special. She smiled again, this time with pride. As she neared the village, she glanced at the humble huts, the flickering lanterns, and the people sitting around the fire, laughing and talking. Suddenly, a thought crossed her mind. Did she even belong here anymore? The river had changed her. Bai Kamara had opened her eyes to a greater destiny. Could she really return to this simple life after seeing the grandeur that awaited her beneath the waters? She longed to tell her mother, to show her father the gifts Bai Kamara had given her. She imagined bringing them to the river, watching their eyes widen as they saw the world she had now entered. "They will understand," she thought. "They will be proud of me." But beneath her excitement, there was a small hesitation. A voice in the back of her mind whispered, "What if you can never return? What if you lose yourself?" Sia shook her head, dismissing the doubt. Bai Kamara loved her. He had chosen her. Why should she fear a life of wealth and power? Yet, as she reached the edge of the village, her steps slowed. When Sia arrived in the village, her family was overjoyed. Her mother, Mama Yema, wept as she embraced her daughter. The villagers gathered, shocked by her sudden return and her glowing, almost supernatural beauty. But Sia's younger sister, Fatu, was suspicious. "Where have you been all this time, sister?" Fatu asked. "Tell me the truth." The villagers pressed her for answers, and in her excitement, Sia forgot Bai Kamara's warning. She told them everything: the underwater palace, the treasures, and her powerful husband. At that moment, dark clouds rolled in, the river raged, and a deep voice echoed through the air. "You have broken your promise, Sia. You were never meant to reveal our secret." The ground trembled, the villagers screamed, and before anyone could stop it, a great wave rose from the river, swallowing Sia whole. She was never seen again. From that day on, the Moa River was never the same. Some say on quiet nights, you can hear Sia's voice in the wind, calling for her family. Others believe she was transformed into a water spirit, forever bound to the river. There is nothing wrong with dreaming of a better life, but one must be wise in choosing the right path. Ambition must be guided by wisdom, or it may lead to a destiny one did not expect. The elders tell this story as a warning. Be careful what you wish for, and never break a promise to the spirits. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoy the story and want to hear more amazing African folktales, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like to the channel. Your support helps keep these stories alive and bring our rich culture to the world. Until next time, stay inspired and keep the stories flowing.